'tis the season, everyone, for who would win. And this week's who would win, we are going back to a Superman one. It's been a long time since I've done a Superman one, and the reason for that is because Superman is kind of hard to do with a good opponent. I think I did him against Goku, Batman, and Sentry. Those are the three I've done Superman against, and he's just so OP. But he does have opponents in his universe that can match him, and I figured, you know, they do Darkseid all the time, and yeah, Darkseid's one of the people who can actually beat him. So what about his Marvel equivalent? What about Thanos? So that's what we got here. We have Thanos. Now, with Superman, it's fairly obvious his stats, but we'll go over them real quick. He's Kryptonian. He's solar powered, more or less. He absorbs solar radiation from a yellow sun. Blue sun will even double his strength. The red sun will actually decrease his strength, and he won't absorb anything. He can deplete his solar reservoir, his solar reserve, I suppose you could say, if, you know, he's away from solar energy long enough, or he just uses it up. His strength is... His average strength before that whole All-Star Superman thing is somewhere around the 6.6 quintillion tons. He was able to move the Earth just slightly out of its orbit to save it at one point. He's Superman. He can travel. Traveling speed is roughly around 1.5. I think, what was it? 1.9 light years, or million miles, or billion, something along those lines. Extremely fast. He can survive 10 octillion megatons, supposedly. Again, he's solar powered, super senses, eyesight, hearing, taste, all that stuff. He can see your soul. Stupid. Heat vision, freeze breath, sonic clap similar to like the Hulk's. He's a pressure point. He's capable of knowing pressure points. He prefers talking to fighting. He knows mental defense, a martial art, as well as just a standard Kryptonian martial art. Holds back against weaker foes. So along those lines. Of course, he's weak to magic. Molecular manipulation, he is vulnerable to, because, you know, his molecules, you can't stop that. And kryptonite. So basic, truth, justice, and human way, because he denounces American citizenship. And then we have Thanos. So Thanos is the much more interesting of the two. Thanos is obsessed in love with death. He's trying to find ways to please Lady Death. So he will wipe out half the life in all the universe just to please Death. He's technologically and science speaking. He's got many inventions, teleportation, matter manipulation, all that stuff. He's able to adapt to new battle situations fairly easy. Unlike someone like both Darkseid and Thanos would prefer to maybe work behind the curtains. Both are extremely capable fighters, but Thanos is actually the one who's really gone into the fray more times than, say, Darkseid. I'm just using it as a comparison right now. And is a bit more of a frontline fighter than Darkseid when you really look at him. His strength, he's Planet Buster strength. He's able to match Thor with the Power Stone, which, for those of you who don't know what the Infinity Gauntlet does, it's composed of the 6 Infinity Stones / gems, each one representing and having abilities based on different aspects of the galaxy or the universe. The Power Stone has all the power that has ever been, ever is, or ever will be in it. Anyone who has that has more or less an infinite amount of strength, things like that. And he's able to fight on par with Thor with the Power Stone. So yeah. Enhanced speed, stamina, reflexes, all that. He's nigh invulnerable, is able to take on Thor with the Power Stone. Galactus, who is a planet buster eater, universe buster, may possible, or galaxy buster, may senses of the term. Withstood 3 blasts, full-powered blasts from Black Bolt at point-blank range. Now, for those of you who don't know who Black Bolt is an Inhuman who literally can't talk. And not because he's incapable of talking, because even a whisper can cause a building to shatter. When this guy talks, cities blow up. When this guy screams, whole worlds can be wrecked. And Thanos tanked 3 full-powered yells from Black Bolt with a little more than a nosebleed. And that has to do because he has an immense healing factor as well. He's capable of using cosmic energy, regular energy blasts, heat beams, concussive blasts, you name it. He's resistant to telepathic means, that wouldn't matter. He has minor magic on his side. He does have some mysticism that's never been ill-defined, but he cursed Deadpool with immortality at one point through magical means. So he's got some level of cursing ability, ability to curse individuals, probably some magical manipulation, but he's not a sorcerer or anything like that. And he's actually very skilled unarmed combatant. Now, let's be clear. In this fight, I'm not using him with the Infinity Gauntlet or the Heart of the Universe from Thanos the End, because he would utterly wreck Superman's shit. It's 100% Thanos all the way. If he's got either the Gauntlet or the Heart of the Universe, that's just it. So we're just looking at Thanos as his standard is. Now, how did this fight break down? Well, where did I write down my fight? Come on, I wrote you down last night. There we go. So the fight, I think, starts off with Thanos heading to Earth to please Lady Death. He's going to wipe out Earth and all that stuff, or do something. He's like, I will, my love, the truest expression of my love, destroying the wretched humans. Superman, however, senses this conflict, flies into space and meets Thanos halfway. Thanos is like in his ship, and his phone's like, and he comes out into space and say, who is this? Computer scat him. Well, he says, it's like, Thanos, or something like that, and it's like, who are you? I am Thanos, conqueror of worlds, and the Mad Titan, the Mad Titan, and the Avatar of Death. It's like, who are you? I was like, I am Superman, but I am also known as Kal-El by my krypton, something like that. And he was like, I was like, I asked you to leave it. You don't want any of this, and I was like, you don't want it. I was like, oh, but I do, Kryptonian. And then he's scanning Superman. He's like, Kryptonian, I do, Kryptonian. I do. And while his computers are probably analyzing Superman. And so, yeah, Superman, and then, well, who did I say starts, and then, all of a sudden I was like, oh, I do. It's kind of like how Cooler said to go, oh, I do, Kryptonian. I do. And then, blast some of that heat blast. Superman maybe flies out of the way, and then, Superman flies in with his own heat blast, burns Thanos, and then just smacks into Thanos. Boom! Maybe they crash into the ship, and the fight commences. Now, in terms of the just standard fist fight, they're going to be on par with each other. Thanos has Planet Buster strength, but so does Superman. And I think because of solar radiation, solar power, all that, Superman is generally the more durable of the two. But, and the slightly more strong, and I mean slightly, I mean, again, Thanos is, like, you need the strongest individuals, physically speaking, in the Marvel Universe just to contend with Thanos or possibly beat him. Like, the Hulk, only, like, the Hulk, Sentry, like, Zeus, Thor, only those guys really can compete on that level with Thanos. So, and so they're gonna duke it out. But while Superman has the physical advantage, Thanos has probably the more tactical advantage. He's probably, I don't know how old Thanos really is. I'm certain, though, he's probably older than Superman by a good, long echelon of years. So he's got battle experience. I think he's just the more skilled fighter all around, and he's the more dirty fighter, too. Let's be clear. He does not care. He's going to wreck shop with you. He'll break you, he will beat you, he will massacre you, he will eviscerate you if he can. So in terms of the actual pure physicality of it, Superman gets it, but in terms of the skill and tactics, Thanos can get it. And Thanos can adapt better to a situation than Superman can, I do believe, though Superman can adapt as well. The fight's going to take place. Neither one of them's really going to have an edge. They're going to be trading blows, but I think Thanos will eventually get the minor edge. And I just want to make sure eventually, and just smashing with a fist, because again, he can manipulate this in cosmic energy. Get Superman with a. Did I say he gets him in the gut? I think I said he gets him in the gut. Energy fist into Superman. Superman. Yeah, I'm gonna say he gets him in the gut. Just and then Superman just. Now let's be clear. Again, in just a normal fight, yeah, I think he'd still maybe knock the wind out of Superman, because again, we're talking about someone who's up near Darkseid level or at Darkseid, maybe even above. Who knows? Point being, we're talking about someone in that league in the Marvel Universe. It's someone who's a planet who can deal with Thor on his own, and even with the Power Stone, Galactus, things along those lines. So his punches are going to hurt regardless. But here's the thing. Superman can normally absorb a lot of things because of his molecular structure. Even energy blast, things along those lines, will usually just kind of mildly hurt him, unless it's a super energy blast or, the kryptonite or something like that. But as far as I can tell, Superman doesn't go up against much that's cosmic related in terms of like energy and stuff like. I mean, he has dealt with some things, like when Lex became kind of like a living god, and wanted to defeat Superman, and that didn't work. That was kind of it. Like the Omega beams could be considered cosmic effects, cosmic powers, to some degree, kind of like the sources. So I do believe he's gone up against some things like that. But and just using that example, the Omega beams, Superman can survive the Omega beams, assuming they're not like on pure incineration power, just away from existence power, just like standard energy blast power. But they still hurt like a bitch. And we're talking about a full cosmic fist to his gut. So that's probably going to seriously knock the crap out of Superman temporarily. Just, So, he reacts. Superman then, that's when Thanos capitalizes on Superman's, lack of, effort and in pain, and just I honestly say this, he would break his arm, and not just a snap pure strength. No, I mean he would just snap and break his arm, just and then Superman just goes then kicks Superman just towards the Earth's star. His computer is still factoring in the analysis of Superman at this time. Superman then just full on heat blast, just and then just nails Thanos square in the body. And so Thanos goes flying back in his ship. He's definitely since burned, but he's slow. He's getting back up. It's just, it's like, oh, what is that? All the while, he sees Superman's arm is actually healing. It's actually at the point Superman's this close to the sun where he's absorbing enough solar radiation that his arm isn't able to mend itself. I would imagine that this is the case anyway, because he does kind of have a healing factor because of the sun. He's able, his arm kind of just doesn't necessarily reform, but he's able to snap his arm back into place himself, and then just kind of heals. All the while, so after that, the computer realizes, or his computer would say it's like he's absorbing solar radiation, and Thanos just, I see. So now he gets up pissed. He's ready for Superman's now speeding up for a mass infinite punch, which for those of you to just recap is when he vibrates just under light speed. His molecule gets just under light speed. It can do basically a planet buster punch. He's about to charge into Thanos. Thanos just sidesteps and grabs him by the throat, and the computer send us to this location. And then they just teleport to a place where there's no yellow sun. Now I don't know if for the sake of sake, we'll say it's like like a moon somewhere. That's, I think, how I write it here. So he just puts him in sun. 1 second. Away from the sun. Thanos catches him by the throat. Thanos here. He blasts him in the face with an energy blast several times. Superman blasts him in the face with an energy blast several times. Just his eyes like, ah! Then he's able to backpedal, and then he goes in for another massive punch. This time it collides and just goes boom. Then the whole moon he's on blows up. It's just a giant dust cloud, and Superman's just. He's tired as hell because he had to use a lot of energy for that. Just, it's over. All of a sudden, her arm comes out and then once again grabs him by the face. Thanos is there and he's just ripped shit because that hurt like hell. So now, and then he charges his hands up full. He just grabs him, kind of like how Batman did in The Dark Knight Returns Part 2 with Superman. Just grabs him by the face and just completely and utterly uses a full power cosmic blast plus energy blast from his eyes and just takes off Superman's head, or just roasts Superman's face and head until Superman's just there dead in space. Now, you may be asking yourself, what the hell? He can survive. Thanos beat Superman because he could survive a mass infinite punch? Bullshit, he can't survive a mass infinite punch. Yes, he can very well survive a mass infinite punch. He survived dealings with, and this is without the Infinity Gauntlet or Heart of the Universe. He survived dealings with Galactus, a universe buster. He survived going against Thor with a Power Stone, which has infinite power to it. He can. No, I'm not saying Thanos comes out of that unscathed. He is definitely hurt by that, but maybe his one of his rib, maybe a couple bones are broken. Maybe he's got gushing blood or something like that. But he can survive a mass infinite punch. If you're gonna argue, you want to argue that, go ahead. But I am saying it right here. He's more than capable of surviving a mass infinite, unless Superman literally landed him square on the head and took his head off. Which even then, because of how durable Thanos is and how much he's gone up against, I don't know if it would take his head clean up, but he might break his neck or something, which could kill him. which is, by the way, where I could see Superman actually winning this, because I think Superman does, again, have the general power, but reason Thanos overall actually takes this fight, I say, is because, one, he's almost as tanky as Superman. He's almost as powerful physically as Superman. He's got far more energy manipulation options. I think he's a far more ruthless and powerful combatant in terms of skill. And he's a science genius. He's technologically enabled. He will go do what it takes to get the advantage. Hence why he'd probably have his computers analyzing this new foe and then, deconstructing his biological makeup and say, oh, this is what he's doing. You need to do this to beat him. So, and then, pure energy, pure cosmic energy, just crushing Superman's head, incinerating his head. I would say that Thanos is going to take this about, I don't know, 80% of the time, but I think 20% of the time Superman can take it. I think it's just a matter of putting all of his energy, and let's be clear, I don't think the solar flare ability from the New 52 would kill Thanos. That would be a last-ditch effort, and there's no way Superman's going to do that. Because, again, that ability is not even a planet-busting ability, and Thanos has tanked far more than that. So, yeah, I give this about the Thanos 20% of the time, again, because with is it versatility? Versatility because of energy capabilities, because of overall martial skill, and because of being a technological genius and using his technology to his advantage. Whereas Superman, yeah, he's intelligent, yeah, he's got the physicality behind it, but unless he's going to be able to just completely overwhelm Thanos, I think, wins it about 80% of the time. But again, in those scenarios, like we say, the massive punch lands square in Thanos' face, he either will take Thanos' head off, which I think is the less likely of the two, just because of how durable Thanos actually is, or he's going to break his neck, which I think is a very possible thing if he's going to concentrate all of that power on a single point on his head. But he needs to be able to hit that spot. I think just in the moment, he's not going to full-on aim for his face. I think he's just going to, hit him square in the chest or something like that, and boom, and then, Thanos comes out pissed and, roasts his face. So, yeah, this is one of the few matches where I think the only one I actually gave it a real definitive winner for the opponent of Superman was Sentry, but only when the Void got involved. If the Void got involved with the Sentry, yeah, Superman's done. Superman's just done. Otherwise, I think I gave it more to Superman overall. I think. I'll have to rewatch that video. But yeah, I know for a fact that Goku versus Superman, I gave it majority to Superman, unless it's Goku actually fighting smart, knowing that this is an evil Superman and he needs to, and it's not about testing yourself, it's about saving the world. Then King Kai gives him information, in which case then I actually gave it almost wholeheartedly to Goku, because then he would just take it in place with like Red Suns and stuff. And then with Batman versus Superman, yeah, I gave it to Superman 9 times out of 10, but it's Batman can win. So, yeah, no, this is the one where I think I fully give it more to his opponent than I give it to Superman. But anyway, yeah, that's my thoughts on Superman versus Thanos. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, if you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. Ideas for who it wins, what if videos, put those in the comments below. I will get to them. Next week, now I should note, I won't be doing any requested fights for the remainder of the month. Because of what I'm doing. Next week, we're doing the very opposite. We're doing Darkseid versus Sentry. And this is all culminating to my final one, which I'll actually have to wait 1 week because it'll be beginning of January that week. No, screw it. I'll hold it off for a week. Which is all culminating in Thanos versus Darkseid. Yep, I decided I'm doing those fights. But I wanted to actually do something unique to lead up to them, so I'm actually doing them versus their respective opposites. So Sentry versus Darkseid is next week. And Passengers will be the movie tomorrow. I know it's Assassin's Creed's Passengers Sing, and I can catch all 3 of them. I just can't catch more than 1 tomorrow. So it's probably going to be Passengers, because I've been hearing very, very, very bad things about Assassin's Creed, which in theory would make that review possibly more interesting. I still might catch that. But Sing, it just looks like a standard, animated film. It looks fine. I'm sure it will be fine. But, whatever. It probably wouldn't make it for a very interesting review. So Passengers will be the one tomorrow, because I'm hearing some minor bad things, but I'm hearing some okay things too. So I really should just give my opinion on that. But anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you folks next time.